Hey y'all, hey, it's everybody's favorite everything, SJ Stevens. Thank you so much for joining me for another day of 31 Days of SJ. So y'all, I'm gonna keep this light today because the last couple days have been heavy. And I mean this because life has been heavy. And like one thing about this, like, yes, I have certain things that I absolutely want to touch on, but I kind of just go with the flow. Like I kind of there is no script, there is no, hard fast, we must talk about this. It's literally just, what happens. So it's been heavy, but like I want to get back to the funny stuff, like this dating experiment. So remember I told you I went on 100 dates in 4 months. Now let me also clear this up. 100 dates does not mean 100 men. I don't even know 100 men in Charlotte. Like I'm a pretty girl, but where was I gonna get 100 men from? Like some of y'all be so ridiculous in my messages, like knock it off. But I this 100 date experiment, and the goal of the experiment, like I'm leaving 2025 with something. Whether it's a husband, whether it's a fiance, I will settle for a God ordained relationship, but I'm not leaving 2025 single under no circumstances. I said it back in 2024 and I meant it with my whole heart. Like, no. So I put myself in spaces to meet people. I did things to meet people, and here we are 100 dates later. So, y'all, this one guy, I think I met him on Match.com. I think it was Match. It was Match or Hinge. Let me say that. One of the two. It was not like Facebook dating. We did not meet in person. It was an app for sure. Well, the gentleman said he was 48 years old. His pictures looked a little older, but I was like, everybody does not age well, right? Most black people do, but everybody does not. Because I know a girl that graduated with me in 1999. Sis look a smooth 63 in the face. Smooth, cold-blooded 63. And I know for a fact she has to be between 43 and 45. Maybe 46 because she wasn't the brightest, crayon in the box. But the lady is not over 46. We graduated, well, I didn't know she graduated. We would have graduated in 99. Let me say that. So I know that people, depending on their lifestyle, can look a little bit older, right? So I thought about it, but I just let it go. Whatever. So we talked on the app for probably a week at best. Transitioned to talking on the phone, my business number, pretty quickly, and we were out on our first date fairly quick. First date, y'all, I had the most amazing time with this gentleman. This gentleman, when I say there were no holds barred, he was spending a hot $300-400 every time we stepped out the house. I mean, like every outing was like multi-layered. Like one day I drove to his house, and this is like date maybe 3 or 4. Now mind you, the first time we go on a date, after that we were probably together every 2-3 days at best. 4 days would have been a stretch. So it's like back to back to back. So every day, like I said, $300-400 at best. That's on the low end. Like everything was like multi-layered. So one day, for example, I drove to his house to get in the car with him. We went to a Harley Davidson bike show because he rides motorcycles. Y'all, you know me, I used to ride bikes. That's how I met my ex-husband. He's a Harley guy. We both were in biker clubs. So it was like nostalgia because I have not done bike or anything with anybody since my ex-husband. So we go to the Harley show, really good time. We go to a Mexican restaurant. He's like, get what you want, eat this, drink this, a really good time. Then we go to this hole in the wall that he frequents, the best food, the best drinks, great time. So the whole day is like 6 or 7 hours. Those are the types of days that we had. He has taken me places I have never been. Like there's a speakeasy over in, I think it's Fort Mill. Y'all, it's so pretty. It's so dope. You absolutely would not know it's there unless you know it's there. So like everything was an experience. Everything that I did with him, I can honestly say I've never done with anybody else in Charlotte. Amazing. Great conversation. gainfully employed. Children are grown, like handsome guy. But y'all, I kept saying, damn, he look old, right? So I kept asking him questions like, what year did you graduate? Or how old are your kids? Or just random stuff. And like, he is pretty consistent about sticking to this lie, right? So I sent the picture to my friend Latrice. I'm like, friend, help me here. So she shows the picture to another guy. And the guy is like, something, and don't quote me, but like, touch his arm, like see if it's mushy, like see, like we checking for like muscle density, and like we're doing all of this goofy stuff, y'all, right, to figure out if this man is old or not. So y'all, one day, and I wish I could remember the year he said, but it was something we're talking about, like baby mamas and baby daddies and all the things. Now let me also go back. This man, of course, now listen, the summer, y'all, I gathered about 20 mother-in-laws. Every gentleman I met wanted me to meet their mother. They either took me to their mother's house, they have invited their mothers out on dates, they are FaceTiming their mothers when I am with them, they are putting their mothers on speakerphone. One thing I'm gonna do is collect the mother-in-law. Easy peasy. And I don't know why they were like that, because I'm like, do you know I will say the hell with you and your mama? But nonetheless, he was no exception. Let's go see my mama. Let's go see my mama. Sending his mama our pictures after day one. We talking about weddings. What kind of wedding do you want? What kind of ring do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want? Like, these are the conversations. His actions are matching the words. His mama is co-signing. It's the thing, right? So y'all, one day, he said, we talking about baby mamas and baby daddies and kids and the things. Now, I knew his kids were grown. I don't think I knew how grown. So I'm 44. And the man said something. Me and my baby mama was sitting in church and we had an argument about our son. But he said, like, y'all, it was a weird year. Whatever year it was, I was in middle school still. So I was like, wait, what? He said it again. Imagine we've been drinking. So he said it again. Yeah, in 1998, whatever year it wasn't 98 because I would have been in high school. It was whatever it was, it did not make sense. Let me just say that. So I was like, how old were you? And he realized what he had said. So he like said some old weird shit. But I was like, yeah, this nigga is not 48. Because whatever age he was talking about talking to his baby mama, we should have been in middle school. Bare minimum, I was in middle school and he was like in the 10th grade. But, and yes, I know people that had babies in the 10th grade. I know people that had babies younger than that. But it just wasn't making sense. And then stuff like, he's his mother's oldest child. His mama like in her 70s. So back in the day, is it possible for women to have waited till they were 30 to have children? Of course it was. But traditionally, if you meet a 70 or an 80-year-old woman with children, she had her kids young. Something about that generation, they had children younger. Now, they were married and having kids young, but they weren't waiting until they was like 30 to have their first kid. So I was like, this is just not adding up. It's not adding up. So y'all, throughout this time, my kid had lost his job. So I tell him instantly, because he's a general manager or something along those lines where he works at, send him up here, I'll get him working within a couple days. I got you. Of course. My son go up there. My son like, Mama, do he got dentures? I'm like, dentures? He was like, yeah, something ain't right. Like, how old is this guy? So I'm telling him the story. He like, ain't no way, bro. Like, ain't no way. So now I am overanalyzing it, y'all, right? Like, I'm looking at, like, my kid's dad is 50. I'm like looking at his pictures. I'm looking at this man's pictures. I'm like Googling how do 50-year-old, like I'm doing all of this goofy stuff, y'all. So I keep asking the man though. I ask him a solid 6 or 7 times. Are you sure? Like, do not lie to me. Like, let's be honest. The man stick to the lie, y'all. He gonna die with the lie. I am 48. I'm like, ain't no way unless he used to do drugs. Ain't no way. Black people typically don't even age like this unless you old girl. But yeah, so we go to a speakeasy one night, and I wait till we get good, and we had our cocktails. I'll say that. And I said, "Let me see your ID." And he was like, "For what?" I said, "Let me see your ID." Yeah, that man slapped that ID on that table. That man was my mama age. That man was so damn old, y'all. And here's the gag. I'm not opposed to older men. Now, be clear. At this age, I don't want no 60-year-old. If God bring him to me, like God gotta bring him to me though. I don't want a 60-year-old man. I don't want a late 50-year-old man. I want a man in his 40s. I will give you 51, 52, but anything outside of that, you doing too much. I don't want it, right? Yeah, that man was so fucking old, bruh. So he showed me the ID, and I'm like, why would you lie? Like, what man is out here lying about his age but a predator? But a predator. Because you knew damn well I would not have talked to you if you had told me how old you are. And then, y'all, the man had previously said I was not the youngest person he talked to. You absolutely a predator, right? So, like, I'm like, we're in the car together. I think you might have been in my car, though. But we're in the car together. It's no pressure. We gonna finish this night. Because again, y'all, best dates, no holds bars. Baby, get 7 bottles if you want. Like, get you some food for you to take home, your son to take home. Like, we genuinely have a good time. Enjoy each other's company. Great conversation the whole nine. So the next day, I let the day end peacefully the way it is. We not kissing. We not none of that. So the next day, I'm like, why did you lie to me? And he said, because I didn't think somebody like you would have dated somebody like me. So you thought I was never going to find out that you was old? Like, what was this going to look like? What were your intentions? You were going to string me along until what, I fell in love and then I didn't care that you was my mama age? Or you was going to try to like razzle and dazzle me out of my drawers that ain't nobody getting and then tell me? Like, no matter how he tried to say it, y'all, it was so deceptive. It was literally disgusting to me. Because again, you own this app and you were targeting younger women. Like, the man's kids, like, I could not even be their mother. I could not biologically be their mother. That's how old this man kids was. You dirty, filthy old man. You dirty, filthy old man. So, like, those are the types of things that I ran into. And I shared this because, like, I am a proponent for dating apps. Like, hey, it's going to open up the space to people that you never otherwise would have met. So I am not opposed to it. And again, short of him being a predator, it was a good run. I was very clear about I'm not kissing, I'm not full frontal hugging, I'm not having no sex, I'm not coming to your house, you're not coming to my house. Follow the rules. Probably because he was old. Y'all, oh man. Yeah, and then literally, and I told him, I said, like, I enjoyed you. I don't think I could have had a long-term relationship with him because nothing in me, I can't see myself being intimate with like a man that's my mama age. It's definitely giving creep. It's definitely giving worms. It's definitely getting like, ugh, I can't. But had he been honest out the gate, I would have told him though, and if he would have been okay, I still would have hung with him because he was just as vibrant, he was just as lively, like he was gonna put his little clothes on. Now them suits was a little elderly because he wore a suit to work every day, and I could also tell by them suits. I was like, but where did you buy this? Like in the 70s. Clearly he really did buy them in the 70s because he was an adult in the 70s. I don't know, but like, yeah, y'all. So I just shared this story to say, because I don't want anybody to think, again, that I'm painting a picture, that I'm not being trustworthy and being honest about my experience. While the majority of it was absolutely amazing, it was absolutely some weirdos in the mix too. So that is all I have for today, y'all. I will absolutely talk to y'all tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day. Mwah.